Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Business Morning. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwago. Well, the National Bureau of Statistics has released the January 2018 Consumer Price Index and inflation figures. The report indicates that inflation started the year 2018 down by 15.13% year-on-year. In January, this is 0.24 percent points lower than the 15.37% rate recorded in December, making it the 12th consecutive deflation in headline year-on-year inflation since January 2017. Let's bring in Bismarck Ruwane, CEO Financial Derivatives Company, to throw more light on this. While we wait for Mr. Ruwane to get ready to talk to us, we'll move on now. The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, on Monday inaugurated Kogi State MSME Clinic in Lokoja, the state capital. This took place at the historic Kogi Economic and Investment Summit, which was graced by some government officials and thought leaders. The Vice President described Kogi State as an embodiment of Nigeria's natural resource.
I must confess that I've always been fascinated by this extraordinary state, Kogi State. This state essentially captures the key essence of our nation, with a confluence of the two major rivers that define the geography of our country, and a true confluence of diversity and culture. It is notably in Kogi State that we have emirs and obas, two different streams of traditional monarchy coexisting with firm historical roots. These confluence of rivers, of the rivers Niger and Benue, the confluence of cultures and traditions, are further complemented by a confluence of resources with fertile arable land that makes Kogi a leading producer of cashew, a potential major rice producer, a respected fishing community, amongst others, as well as a bed of some of the most prolific solid minerals, including coal, limestone, iron ore, and tin. This is undoubtedly the confluent state. The state is also the undisputed gateway between the north and the south, except that my own state, Ogun State, has very, very carefully taken that particular title of the gateway state. Permit me to say that this state stands in a strategic position, and it makes it perhaps the only state, at least we know, that shares boundaries with 10 other states, including the Federal Capital Territory. And this is made up of states from the north, the southwest, the south-south, the southeast. Kogi's location is therefore not just remarkable as a matter of Nigerian geography, but also our economy. I'm glad to say that everyone I've met so far in Kogi State is so upbeat about the potentials and possibilities of this wonderful state. From your governor, my dear brother, to his deputy, and to every other Kogite whom I have spoken to, or who I have encountered in the few hours I've been here, and even before now. Everyone has an optimistic belief in the ability of this state and its people and the prospect. And this, of course, tells us that there is great hope in the land, regardless of what the challenges might be. I'm also personally excited for what you and I see that is possible economically and in other ways in Kogi State. Within a few months of his assuming office, His Excellency Governor Yahaya Bello met with me in my office and presented me with the new direction blueprint of his administration, published in a compendium. I must say that I found, reading through it, that it was both ambitious and far-sighted. I'm also told that there is a 32-year infrastructure master plan being developed, with a plan to pass this into law to ensure sustainability. This long-term thinking, digging deep roots, ensuring that plans are well thought out and sustainable, is the way of the future. This administration deserves all the commendation for this, which is why an economic summit here in Kogi State is one that would understandably generate considerable local and international attention. The summit is timely as well as it is strategic, not only to draw attention to the confluence of opportunities in Kogi State, but also to reinvigorate and inspire the people of Kogi, as you are reminded of your prospects as a state and the prospects that your state has to offer, and the possibilities that are so unique to this state. We in the federal government recognize these vast assets that Kogi State has in natural resources, in geolocation, but above all, in human capacity. A gifted, hardworking, and entrepreneurial people with a record of producing renowned businessmen and women, and historically, a strong civil service workforce. But Kogi's history and its present pale in comparison to its incredibly promising future, powered by the energy and optimism of its young and able workforce, led by its dynamic and forward-looking governor. It is to these harbingers of greatness, and I refer to the young people, of tomorrow, that we must devote much more resources and creativity to providing relevant education. I'm glad to see that this features prominently in the plan. Our recognition of Kogi is not misplaced. You are host to the biggest steel industry in Nigeria, the Ajaokuta Steel Company, and one of the largest cement factories in Africa, the Dangote Cement Company, Obajana, and also the highly prolific Jakura Marble Factory. We have now resolved the legal issues holding down work in Ajaokuta and the Ajaokuta Steel Complex, just as the Honorable Minister has said. We are currently reviving the 110 megawatt power plant, which will service not just the steel complex, but also the rest of it will go into the grid to add to the electricity supply from the Geregu NIPP, all of which would benefit power supply also in Kogi State. The technical audit of the Ajaokuta complex is on as we speak, and we hope that this will soon be completed to enable the conclusion of the investment process. Maximizing Ajaokuta's production capacity will unlock a key area of our economy. Steel is not only critically needed, but it's also versatile in many respects. Also, as we speak, work is going on the Itakpe-Warri-Ajaokuta rail, and the rail route is being extended to Abuja, so that the entire mining corridor is covered by rail. When completed, this will be a major trunk rail line for the movement of goods and services and people. In addition, we've also opened up the inland waterways for movement of goods. During the tenure of Boss Mustafa, the current Secretary to the Government of the Federation, when he was DG of NIWA, the Barrow port was dredged. This makes Kogi, of course, with the dredging of the port, we now have a port. This makes Kogi one of the most business-ready industrial and manufacturing zones in the country, with a working complex of rail, power, and a port. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, it is clear that our country has unbelievable potential. But three issues hold us back. 1, corruption. 2, corruption. 3, corruption.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo speaking at the Kogi State Investment Summit.